India is quietly buying something the world is running out of, and almost nobody is noticing. The world today is facing high government debt, currency devaluation, trade wars, geopolitical tension, supply chain nationalism. Countries no longer trust global chain supplies as they did in 1990s. Just look around. The US is reshoring factories. Europe is securing energy and minerals. China is restricting exports of key materials. Central banks are hoarding gold. This is a global shift from paper promises to physical controls. In this world, metals like copper, lithium, silver are not just investment, they have become a strategic resource. And something very important is happening in India that very few people are paying attention to. And the important part is this can actually redesign your investment strategy for coming days.
In 2025, India has quietly imported 6,000 metric tons of silver. Let me put that number into perspective for you. 6,000 tons is roughly 190 million ounces. The entire global mining production of silver is about 830 million ounces. That means one single country just bought nearly 25% of the entire world's mine supply in a single year. They bought the equivalent of the entire annual production of Peru, Mexico, and Australia combined.
Let us decode this entire thing. Namaste friends, I am Rohini and you're watching the knowledge series of fincash.com. India imported 6,000 tons of silver in 2025. That is about 190 million ounces. That is 514 million tolas. Now, why this news is making global headlines? Think about it. One country, India, just absorbed a quarter of all newly mined silver on earth in a single year. That's like a single country buying 25% of global oil, copper, or wheat. Markets are not built to handle that kind of demand without something breaking. And here is the kicker. India did it while silver prices were rising. Usually when prices go up, Indian demand slows down, but not this time. Why? Because India is not buying silver to trade. India is buying silver to build its future. Every ounce purchased is logged into power plants, electric vehicles, electronics, homes, factories, and savings. And once silver enters in India, it rarely comes back in global circulation. This is why analysts are saying that the world's silver market will never be the same again. Now, what this means is clear. India has a first mover advantage in a metal the world is suddenly scrambling for. For investors, for industries, for innovators, this is once in a generation opening. Most people think that silver is a cheaper version of gold, but this idea is completely outdated. In the world we are entering, silver is not just a luxury metal. It is an infrastructure metal. Silver is the best electric conductor on the earth. Nothing moves electricity more efficiently. That is why silver is used in solar panels, electric vehicles, charging station, power grids, smartphones, data centers, defense system, and almost every modern electronic device. Here is the part most people do not realize. Oil gets burned, coal gets consumed, but silver is different. When silver goes into a solar panel, battery, circuit board, or power grid, it does not come back to the market. It gets locked into machines, buildings, and infrastructure, sometimes for 20, 30, or even 40 years. The world is quietly consuming more and more silver every year. That is what makes silver dangerous to ignore. Unlike oil or steel, you cannot easily increase silver supply. Most silver is mined as a byproduct of other metals. When demand rises, supply does not respond fast. This is how structural storage are born. And this is the background against which something very important is happening in India. Now place India inside this new global world. India today is going through three massive transformations at the same time. Let's look into it. First, India is electrifying. We are moving from petrol and diesel to electric vehicles. We are building massive solar parks. We are adding charging stations, batteries, and power grids. And all of that runs on silver. Second, India is urbanizing. Millions of people are moving into cities, new homes, new offices, new metros, new data centers, new malls, new hospitals. All of this modern infrastructure is full of wires, switches, sensors, control panels, and electronics, all of which use silver. So, as India builds cities, it is permanently consuming silver. Third is India is manufacturing phones, electronics, renewable energy parts, defense equipment, EV components, semiconductor. India is trying to make these at home instead of importing them. And modern manufacturing runs on silver because silver is the best conductor of electricity on earth. So when factories rise, silver disappears into machine and products. Now connect these three things. India is using silver in power, cities, and factories. At the same time, India is buying silver, has jewelry, has savings, and protection against inflation. So silver in India is being consumed and stored at the same time. That is why India's silver demand is not cyclic, but it is structural. And this is what makes India different from rest of the world. We also see that silver ETFs, that is exchange traded funds, are accelerating investment demand. As we see, silver is becoming a smart man's saving account. We are seeing surge in investment in silver ETFs, that is exchange traded funds. For years, India could only buy physical bars or physical jewelries with high premiums and storage issues. Now with SEBI regulation, people can buy silver right on their phone, which is instantly cost-effective and safe. Silver ETF is making silver accessible to millions of Indians, further increasing demand and locking more silver metal in India. When shortages begin, they don't show up first in headlines, but they show up in prices. Right now, something strange is happening in silver. In New York, silver trades around $72. In Mumbai, it trades above $75. New York is a paper market. That is futures, contracts, promises. Mumbai is a physical market. That is delivery, walls, real metals. When physical silver is in short, people pay more to actually get it. That is what exactly is happening. The physical price is pulling away from the paper price. That tells you one thing. The metal is harder to find than the screen price suggests. And that gap only appears when supply chains are under stress. Silver normally flows quietly through the world, from refiners to trading hubs to end users. But now that flow is being distorted. Larger volumes are being pulled into one place, that is India. And when that happens, the rest of the world starts to feel tightness. This is how physical squeezes start, not with panic, but with premiums. Silver does not teleport. They move systematically through a specific pipeline, that is Switzerland, Dubai, and India. Swiss refiners process the metal. Dubai is a trading hub. India is one of the biggest buyers. This system works only if silver keeps circulating. But now, Dubai is running low. Swiss refiners are under pressure and London walls are shrinking. This is a physical squeeze, not on Wall Street, not in hedge funds. It begins when metal disappears. Once silver enters India, it is locked into infrastructure, industry, savings, and culture. The velocity drops to a zero, and the global market starts to feel tight, even if the screen prices does not show it. Every major country is printing currency. Debts are rising. Trust in paper money is eroding. That is why central banks are buying gold and countries are trading outside the US dollar. India is a part of this shift. Through BRICS and bilateral trade, India is reducing dollar dependence. But trading outside the dollar requires something real behind your currency. Silver plays a critical role here. It is valuable, widely used, and embedded in industrial supply chain. By accumulating silver, India gains hard asset banking, diversification from dollar reserves, leverage in commodity-based trade. This strengthens India's position as paper currency loses trust. At the same time, India pulls huge physical volumes into its economy. It's not about predicting if silver rises the next week, but it is about understanding that why India has created a long-term demand floor. As we have learned that India is electrifying, urbanizing, and manufacturing. These three forces are permanent, and consumption of silver in these three areas is inevitable. Even if global market slows down, India's internal demand does not disappear. This is what a demand floor looks like. When something is both industrial essential and financially trusted, it behaves differently from normal commodities. This is why what India is doing with silver matters globally. This is not hype or speculation. The country is quietly locking away metal where the modern world cannot function without it. India has quietly become a global silver powerhouse. The world is already noticing it, and those who see it now will understand the scale of this opportunity. It is your money, invest it smartly.